I can quote Glenn Martin, who's an advocate, who has said those that are closest to the problem are closest to the solution, but generally furthest from resources and power.
The inspiration for wanting to do something in a collaborative fashion, bringing philanthropy into the equation, was the inspiration of Kyle Caldwell, Regina Bell, at the Council of Michigan Foundation, saying, okay, we have an opportunity now to participate more actively in the distribution of the amount of money that was coming in from the government.
The statewide equity pilot was really a learning space. And I mean that in multiple ways. Certainly for philanthropy to have a shared space to think about our practice.
A lot of places in society are coming to that conclusion. There's a real effort to finally do something about what's wrong. And within that context, when we're understanding our interconnectedness, committing to what's going wrong, here comes all this money. Here comes this money to try to keep the economy going, to invest in infrastructure. And it's coming at a time when people are expanding their notions about how do we actually create an equitable society.
I do think that the statewide equity pilot, by design and in design, really allowed the flexibility for each community to make the process their own.
For us was helping to create a table. Oftentimes policy decisions are being made by incredibly brilliant people who are well-intentioned, but may not have direct ties to the community.
In building our cohort of community members, it was a matter of really looking at our community, seeing what are the various communities within Washtenaw County we knew needed to be represented, and then doing the outreach to see who might have interest in participating.
Part of our systematic change here in Flint, in fact, is having more civic participation in budgetary processes, in shaping how ARPA dollars would be used in the community, with an emphasis to benefit the residents who are most impacted.
Part of systemic change is doing policy work, which means we have to have a deep relationship with our government partners and actors. And so it was really important to me that we deepen our relationship with Washtenaw County government.
Our efforts together can strengthen what the city is doing when it comes to serving entrepreneurs, but even more so, together with that roundtable group, we were able to recently open a physical location for our Center for Pontiac Entrepreneurship that opened in mid-July and headquartered right in downtown Pontiac.
This opportunity was an opportunity to really take our efforts deeper than just public input.
And that's what we've really tried to do, is to bring these key stakeholders in our community that are serving entrepreneurs together and ensuring that we have trust amongst each other.
The Statewide Equity Fund and the Council of Michigan Foundations has really allowed us to focus in on the conversation. It also allowed us to think about what does equity mean in our community. The Statewide Equity Fund really allowed us to focus the work around how do we engage our community in the conversation? How do we make sure that those whose voice might not be heard, how do we lift up those voices as we begin to plan for the future of our community? The learning in the process is the win, and the building of the relationships in the process is the win for our community.